All right, now that we have everything configured, have IPs on everything, there's a few things we need to do to verify that everything seems to be right. First thing we want to do is make sure we can ping between the two VLANs on the same router. So with ping 192.168.11.34 is the other PC. Remember, the first ping usually fails in the simulator for some reason. So we'll wait till we get a bunch of failures before we freak out. All right, that one worked. And over here, we're going to ping from to the other PC, which I already did in the previous video. So hopefully it still works. All right, so this side's working and this side's working, but right now we haven't configured any routing information, so they can't communicate with each other. A couple things we're going to do. One, as we are configuring the routers for router RIP, we want to look at the interfaces and make sure they're all up and up. If the interfaces aren't all up and up, we're going to have problems later on. So we want to look and make sure the ones we are using are up and up. So all my interfaces that have IP addresses show up as up and up. If they show administratively down and they have an IP address over here, that means you need to do a no shutdown somewhere or you're going to have problems. So each router we go to, we're going to go ahead and look at the interfaces and then we'll configure RIP, router RIP. I'll give you the commands in the lab sheet for that. We're going to use version 2. We are going to turn on no auto summary because our configuration we have causes problems if we don't. So you want to make sure you turn that on all the routers. If you're interested in knowing what problems we have, ask me in the lab and I'll explain it to you. I don't feel like going into it right now. So now for RIP, we need to configure some network statements, and we want to configure network statements for the networks we're connected to. And we can figure out what that needs to be by looking up here and see, oh, we're connected to 11 dot something and 12 dot something. So we'll put 11.0, hit enter. And you may be thinking, hey, Rich, why'd you put 11.0? Shouldn't you put 11.1 and 11.33 and 11.254? Well, I could, but the reality is if you put in an actual IP address instead of a network address, it actually changes it to the network address for you. So I put in 12.1 and it put in 12.0. So it changes it for you. So those were the only two networks I needed to put on this router. I've configured RIP, so I should have some RIP routes by now, right? Show IP route. Oh, why don't I have any RIP routes? Oh, I don't have any RIP routes because I don't have any other routers configured for RIP yet. So this guy's not able to talk to anybody because nobody else wants to talk to him. So we'll do the same thing on the other 4 routers. Show IP int brief to make sure they are up and up. Brief, up and up, up and up, up and up. Configure RIP, router RIP, version 2, no auto summary, and then we need 3 network statements on this router: 192.168.21.0, 11.0, 1.0. So now, in theory, I should have some RIP routes. Hey, look at that, I have some RIP routes. We'll get back to looking at those in a little while. Same thing over here. Oh wait, do show IP int brief. I didn't verify my interfaces. Up and up, up and up, up and up. Good. Router RIP. Version 2, no auto summary. And then we need 3 network statements: 192.168.21.0, 22.0, and 1.0. And that's it for that guy. And then this last one, show IP int brief. Up and up, up and up, up and up, up and up. Conf t router RIP version 2, no auto summary. Network statements, we need 2 of them: 22.0 and 12.0. So that should be it for the required configs for RIP. And to test that, we're going to try to ping from this side to that side, because it wouldn't have worked if we would have tried it before. So now I'm going to try to ping 22.2. And hey, check that out. So I can ping across. So just quickly, we'll look at the routing table we have to make sure we understand what we're seeing. Show IP route. And if we look, we're trying to figure out, oh, hey, I'm trying to get to 22.2. So if we look at our routing table, we should know that 22.2 is part of the 22.0 subnet. And it says, oh, hey, to get that way, we're going across serial 010. So that's a quick look at configuring the rest of what we needed to get configured before we could actually start the lab.